Your attitude is your window to the world. Better keep yourself clean and bright. You are the window through which you must see the world. It was just after 1 p.m. and Sarah was getting hungry. She had put in a few productive hours of work at her desk and decided to get a bite to eat at a nearby coffee shop. A few minutes later, Sam walked into the coffee shop. He too was on his lunch break. Sam sat down at a table a few feet away from Sarah. Sarah, the same waitress, served Sarah and Sam that afternoon. Each customer waited about the same amount of time before the waitress took the order. Each of them received their meal around the same time. Each of them was served well prepared, wholesome food, and each waited the same amount of time for the waitress to deliver the check. But that's where the similarities ended. Sarah had walked into the coffee shop with a smile, a spring in her step, and a very positive outlook on the world. It was plain for everyone to see. Her body language and her posture reflected her optimism. Sarah had a delightful lunch, exchanged some pleasant conversation with the waitress, and went back to the work with a recharged battery. Sam, on the other hand, had entered in a coffee shop with a scald on his face, and he looked like he had been sucking on sour pickles all morning. He was hunched over and tense. His body language cried out and stay away from me. Like stay away from me. He was annoyed when the waitress didn't take his order immediately. He was annoyed at how long it took for his meal to arrive. He, he complained about the food and was furious when he didn't get his check right away. Why did Sarah and Sam have such different experience in this coffee shop? Remember that each was treated in exactly the same way. It comes down to this. Sarah sees the world with a positive attitude. Sam sees the world with a negative attitude. A definition of attitude. Think of your attitude as a mental filter through which you experience the world. Some people see the world through the filter of optimism, while others see the life through the filter of pessimism. Right? Optimism means a glass of being half full. Pessimism means a glass being half empty. Let me give you some example to explain difference between the positive attitude and negative attitude. A person with a negative attitude thinks I can't. A person with a positive attitude thinks I can. A person with a negative attitude dwells on the problem. A person with a positive attitude concentrates on solutions. A person with a negative attitude finds faults with others. A person with a positive attitude looks for good in others. A person with a negative attitude focuses on what's missing. A person with a positive attitude counts his or her blessings. A person with a negative attitude sees limitations. A person with a positive attitude sees possibilities. I could go and on with examples, but I'm sure you get the idea. When I talk to audience about attitude, I often like to use word pictures. They help people to understand and remember what I said. Let me paint this picture to you. Your mind is your window to the world. Everyone starts with a clean mental window. Let's take a few moments to discuss why I say that your attitude is your window to the world. We all start out in life with a good attitude, or should I say, a clean mental window. Just watch young children. They are always laughing and giggling. They have sunny disposition. They love to explore new things. Consider the attitude of a child who's learning to walk. When he stumbles and falls down, what does he do? I'll tell you what he doesn't do. He doesn't frown and blame the carpet. He doesn't point the fingers at his mother and father for giving him low C instruction. He doesn't quit. Oh no. He smiles and gets up again and makes another attempt. And another. He keeps going for weeks and weeks with a positive attitude until he gets it right. His window is sequentially clean. He feels like he can conquer the world. But as you know, there comes a point where life starts throwing some dirt at our windows. And here's what happens. Our window get splattered by criticism from our parents and teachers. Our window gets smudged by ridicule from peers. Our window gets smashed by rejection. Our window gets soiled by disappointments. Our window gets clouded by doubts. The problem is the dirt keeps building up, and all too many people do nothing about it. They continue to go through life with a filthy window. They lose their enthusiasm, they get frustrated and depressed, and the most tragically they give up on their dreams, all because they fail to clean their attitude window. And that's the road I was traveling down. I had a dirty window when I was an attorney, and the longer I stayed in that field, I filthier my window got. The filthier my window got. I saw no possibilities. How could I? My window was splattered with the mud of negativity. So let's we talk about the wash your window. But then, by the grace of God, I learned that all I had to go do was clean off my window. I had to improve my attitude so I could see the world clearly again. After I removed the grime from my window, a whole new world opened up for me. The frustration and depression lifted, and I had more confidence. For the first time in many years, I could see the magnificent possibilities that life had to offer. And I was able to make career transition and do more that I absolutely love. When you really think about it, I am in the business of helping people to clean off their window to get a better attitude. Do you see what I mean when I say that attitude is your window to the world? Can you appreciate how your attitude affects the way you see everything in your life? More importantly, are you beginning to see those areas where their window needs to be washed? You control your attitude, right? It's your job to clean your window. Sure, it's your job, right? I can give you a little encouragement and other people can encourage you too, but in the end, nobody else can do it for you. You see, you always have a choice. You can leave the filth on your window and look at life through the smeared glass, dirty glass, right? But there are consequences to that approach, right? And they are not very pretty. You will go through the life negative and frustrated. You will be unhappy. You will achieve only the fraction of the what you are capable of achieving. There is a better way. When you choose to take out your sequence and you clean your window, life will be brighter and shiner. You will be healthier and happier. You will set some ambitious goal and begin to achieve them. Your dreams will come alive again. Still doubting whether you really have the power to change your attitude. Perhaps you are thinking, Jeff, that's easy for you to say. Your attitude wouldn't be so good if you had any problem. Granted, some really devastating things may have happened to you. You may have endured much suffering. Perhaps you are going through some tough time right now. But even under the worst circumstances, I still content that you have a power to choose your attitude. Even the problem, even the situation is the worst, but still you have a power to choose your attitude. I'm not saying it's easy, but the fact remains the choice is yours. Let me tell you about a man who is well qualified to speak on the subject of attitude. His name is Dr. Viktor Frankl. He went through the hell on earth and managed not only to survive but to inspire millions of people. You see, Viktor Frankl endured years of horrors as a prisoner in the Nazi death camp. To make a matter worse, his father, mother, brother, and his wife died in a camp or killed in a gas chambers. Every day, Franken and other prisoners suffered from hunger, cold, brutality. Can a person control his or her attitude in such a situation like that? Here's what Dr. Frankl had to say about the importance of attitude in his best selling book, Man's Search for Meaning. Everything can be taken from the man, but the one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way, even though conditions such as lack of sleep, insufficient food, and various mental stresses may suggest that the image were bound to react a certain way. In a final analysis, it too comes clear that the sort of a person and prisoner became was the result of an inner decision, not the result of camp influences alone. Inner decisions also important. Now, if the Dr. Franklin and the other prisoner had the ability to choose their attitude in the face of such a unspeakable suffering, who are we to claim that we cannot take control of our attitude? Can we say that? As a huge Downs has said, Hughes Downs what said? Happy person is not a person in the certain set of circumstances, but rather a person with a certain set of attitude. That's a powerful statement, and it's truth. When it is all said and done, you and you alone control your attitude. Now we talk about attitude and success. What does it have relation? Okay, let's say you clean off your window and develop your positive attitude. You are smiling, you sit home and think positive thoughts. Will that alone lead you to is success? And you will realize of your dream. No, it will not, only because there is more to success than just having a great attitude. To maximize your potential and to achieve goals, you need to apply certain time honored principles of success that have helped millions of the people to achieve extraordinary results. And they'll do the same for you. So we will know about that in the next lesson. So children, right now, your success is just limited or blocked by your attitude. So focus on your attitude because this will totally change your life.